Aho, Iaho, Aho, Iaho.
So let's see what the census data of 1927 tells us. It tells us that 95% of English speakers in Limon were Afro-Caribbeans. 96% of the black population spoke English. Of course, there were people from other islands that did not, that they were not Anglophone islands. And 55% of the population in Mon were of African descent. That is very important. You see, that's 55% were African descent. The population, that's what we talk about, close knit, okay? The density, that's important for keeping the language, okay? You don't need so much effort to keep the language because that's the majority of the population. And that was it then. It was the majority of the population, okay? But see, let's see, we see that by 1950, by 2011, we start to see a decrease in population, okay? The population begins to decline, okay? But let's see what the new census data will reveal, okay, about these numbers. But that's what the census data of 2011 tells us. That has a big difference between what we saw before in 1927. And just we say that one way of keeping a language or seeing language erosion, the simplest way is a size of the linguistic group, the number of linguistic group, because as I mentioned before, that opportunity to use the language with different speakers in different domains and situations, that's going to reinforce the language and keep it strong and keep it tight. So that those numbers are very important. So why do we have, let me go back here. Why do we have this decline in the population? A lot of it that came with the moving out of the food company meant that there's a lot of movement. Not only people from not only population from the Meseta Central, from the Central Valley, from the highlands, going into Limon to look for opportunities, lands and so, but the Afro-Caribbean population started to move out also, looking for their own opportunities for survival. And that was the shock and the shift in the population number, okay, that we see there. Inward migration of the mestizo population of the central plateau, of the Central Valley, and the outward movement many times on the part of the Afro-Caribbean community. Okay, so what do we have today? Continuing with that pattern, something that I've mentioned earlier. Older people, older folks, tend to be semilingual in Spanish, okay? They can hold a conversation, but they still feel Creole is still their dominant. That tends to be changing also over time, okay? Because older people can speak Spanish now, not like before. You talk to an 85-year-old and so they speak Afro Limonese speak Spanish very well. Okay?
True, true,
Very,
true. Mm.
very well. The middle age is fully bilingual, but Spanish begins to surface more, to pop up more. And younger people tend to have Spanish as their dominant language. And we can understand that. Okay, the thing is understanding. That's my purpose is only to understand. I just try to understand what's going on, what you see, and how do you explain what you see. Okay, and we can understand that because there's a population shift. And we can take any picture and go into any school, any public school, and you look at the picture of the 1960s and take a picture in 2020, first graders, fourth or third graders, any grade, and look at the population and just put them up together and look what's going on. And we can understand that shift in population. Okay, going into any public school in the province of Limon, and we don't have to go far. We look at the same school that existed then: Tomás Guardia, Rafael Iglesias Castro, ¿verdad? And any of those schools that were there, and you would see that, and look for pictures and just put them up, and you see that's the shift.
Somos voces de la historia, sangre, tinta y papel. Somos voces de la historia, mis ancestros, su saber, mis ancestros, su saber, mis ancestros, su saber.